There's a persistent narrative that younger generations are irresponsible, that they don't want to work, that they're delaying adulthood because they're lazy. But if you actually look at the economics, what people call cultural decline is really just rational adaptation to structural constraint. This isn't about mindset, it's about math. Let's compare economic starting points across generations. In 1970, the median home cost was 2.3 times the median income. By 1990, it rose to 3.2 times. In 2023, it's over 6 times the median income. Student loan debt tells a similar story. In 1990, the average graduate owed about $10,000. Today, that number is closer to $37,000. Healthcare costs have nearly doubled as a share of income, rising from about 8% in 1980 to roughly 17% today. And entry-level wages, adjusted for inflation, have actually declined from around $45,000 in 1980 to about $40,000 today. So younger workers face higher education costs, higher housing costs, higher healthcare costs, and lower starting wages. That's not a motivation problem, that's a math problem. For decades, adulthood followed a predictable path. Graduate with little or no debt, get an entry-level job that paid enough to live on, save for a few years, buy a home on a single income, start a family. Each step made the next one possible. Today, that sequence is broken. Education now costs nearly 10 times more than it did in 1980, with 4-year degrees approaching $100,000. Many students spend 10 to 20 years paying that debt back. Entry-level wages haven't kept up, and many so-called entry-level jobs now require years of experience while offering fewer benefits. When rent, student loans, and healthcare consume 70 to 80% of income, saving becomes nearly impossible. Nearly half of adults under 30 have less than $500 in savings. Without savings, progress stalls. Homeownership now requires down payments of $60,000 to $80,000 in many markets, which can take over a decade to save for, even with disciplined budgeting. Family formation becomes another barrier, with childcare alone costing $10,000 to $20,000 per year per child. When each milestone takes longer, everything gets compressed into your 30s and 40s. Buying a home, getting married, having children, advancing your career, caring for aging parents. Instead of being spread over 20 years, they collide all at once, creating chronic stress and a constant feeling of being behind. Many young people aren't just delaying the traditional path, they're abandoning it. Homeownership feels unlikely, marriage feels uncertain, children feel unaffordable, retirement feels out of reach. That's not pessimism, it's adaptation. When milestones become unreachable, people redefine success. What makes this worse is the constant messaging that it's your fault, that you spend too much, that you chose the wrong major, that you just need to work harder. But when an entire generation faces the same barriers, that isn't a character flaw, it's a system problem. Financial insecurity drives anxiety, depression, and hopelessness, not because people are weak, but because instability is exhausting. When effort no longer leads to progress, motivation collapses. That's not laziness, that's a rational response to broken incentives. Younger generations aren't failing at adulthood, they're adapting to an economy that no longer supports traditional milestones. This isn't entitlement, it's compression. And until we stop blaming individuals for systemic failures, nothing changes. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear they're not failing. The system is. Thanks for watching.